The green flag dropped at Chicagoland Speedway, and within seconds, the dream season turned into a nightmare. Connor Zilisch, the 19-year-old phenom dubbed a generational talent, found himself trapped with nowhere to go. As the field swept through the opening turns, chaos erupted involving multiple competitors. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got squeezed toward the outside wall, creating an immediate hazard for the pack. Eric Jones then made contact in that same area, which sent Ryan Preece spinning directly into the path of Zilisch. NASCAR described the situation plainly, stating that there was nowhere for the rookie to go. The number 88 Chevrolet slammed hard into the inside wall, the front end destroyed instantly. The impact was severe enough to end his competition immediately. Over the radio, a devastated Zilisch admitted, "We're destroyed. I can't get anything to go for me." His day ended immediately, and he finished dead last. But if you think this was just bad luck, you need to hear what Joey Logano has to say. This wasn't an isolated incident. It was the culmination of a pattern that has defined Zilisch's entire rookie campaign. Heading into that Sunday in July 2026, his average finish sat at a dismal 27th. In his last 7 races alone, the number 88 car was involved in a wreck on 5 separate occasions. He has finished 30th or worse 9 times this season. He crashed in 3 consecutive races at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Nashville Super Speedway, and Michigan International Speedway. He then ran 23rd at Pocono Raceway, only to crash again the following week. Currently, he sits 34th in the Cup Series standings, a position worse than every other full-time driver except one. The expectations were sky-high given his background. Trackhouse Racing signed him to a multi-year contract through 2027, handing him the seat previously occupied by Daniel Suarez. Everyone expected an immediate impact alongside teammates Ross Chastain and Shane Van Gisbergen. Instead, the Cup Series has told a completely different story. Before this top-level struggle, Zilisch built one of the most decorated resumes in American motorsports. He began racing go-karts at age 5, winning the Mini Rock World Championship in Italy and becoming the first American to win the Scusa Karting Academy trophy. He climbed through Mazda MX-5, Trans Am, and late models, winning consistently. In the NASCAR Xfinity Series, he recorded 10 wins in a single season and set a series record with 18 consecutive top 5 finishes. Those numbers fueled the enormous expectations surrounding his Cup career. But now, those numbers feel like a weight he cannot lift. There was one bright spot the week prior at Sonoma Raceway, where he finally broke through with a 7th-place finish. He sounded relieved, saying, "It felt good to have a clean run." That momentum lasted exactly 1 week before it was erased on the opening lap at Chicagoland. So, why is this happening? Is it the car? Is it bad luck? Or is something else at play? Joey Logano, a 3-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, decided to speak directly about what Zilisch is experiencing. Logano explained that he understands the situation better than almost anyone currently in the garage. On a recent podcast, Logano stated, "Connor was dubbed that guy, and he was that in the O'Reilly series, just like I was when I started over there." He continued by describing the trap that young star drivers fall into once they reach the sport's top level. This whole like hype, living up to the hype, get to the Cup level. Oh. Logano admitted this exact scenario happened to him during his first 2 years, noting, "This wasn't what I was expecting. These guys are really, really good." And that's fact. Logano identified the core issue that Zilisch cannot simply out-talent his way around. According to the veteran champion, the jump from the O'Reilly Series to the Cup Series is the single largest jump in all of motorsports. He stated it directly, "The jump from the O'Reilly Series to the Cup Series is the largest jump in motorsports, period. Hands down. There's not a larger jump from a talent level. Everybody in the Cup Series can go to the O'Reilly Series and win today. Every single one of them." To illustrate the point, Logano shared a story from his own early career. He initially assumed that drivers running toward the back of the Cup Series field were not particularly skilled. He recalled thinking, "I thought those guys that run in the back every week, I'm like, they suck. I can beat them." Then he watched them laying down 2 black marks off the corner and realized, "Holy cow, these guys are really good." Logano made it clear that the deciding factor at the Cup Series level is not raw ability, since Zilisch already possesses that in abundance. Instead, it comes down to small details that can only be learned through years of experience. Logano explained, the drivers knowing what they need in their team, in their car, and how to just manipulate so much stuff, that's what makes them great, and it takes years to do it. He referred to Zilisch as a diamond in the rough, stating that the young driver simply needs enough time in the sport to fully develop. Logano knows this process firsthand because he nearly did not survive it himself. He was once considered a can't-miss prospect for Joe Gibbs Racing. Yet, he lost that ride following the conclusion of the 2012 season and found himself without a job in the sport. Roger Penske then gave him a second opportunity, a decision that eventually led to 3 Cup Series championships. Logano acknowledged how close that outcome came to never happening at all, saying, "I almost lost my chance. I was this close to not making it." Forget 3 championships, not making it. Not driving race cars. This context frames the issue as a broader learning curve rather than a problem unique to Zilisch. Veteran spotter Freddie Kraft echoed this sentiment on the Door Bumper Clear podcast, explaining that even talented young drivers underestimate the jump. Kraft recalled a conversation with Jesse Love after Love's Cup debut at Bristol. Love thought he would run top 10 with a good car but couldn't even run top 30. Kraft said, "It's unbelievable how big that leap is to the Cup Series." Tommy Baldwin added that the Cup Series is unforgiving, noting, "It's all the small things. All the things that matter. It's like, you've got to grow up. You're an adult now." Former driver Randy LaJoie elaborated that when Cup drivers put their helmets on, they are ready for battle. "They're the best that we've got," LaJoie said. The struggles facing Zilisch are not isolated to him alone. Trackhouse Racing as an organization has faced a difficult season across the board. Ross Chastain currently sits around 22nd in the standings. Shane Van Gisbergen is position 14th, driven largely by road course success. Earlier in the year, Joey Logano even commented on air about the speed of the Trackhouse cars, calling them weapons and predicting they would eventually crash into other competitors. Logano also addressed how fans treat him compared to fellow young driver Carson Hocevar. Logano has long been viewed as one of the sport's villains. He explained, "To this day, I still get booed like you wouldn't believe for the things I did when I was 19 years old." He pointed to Hocevar, noting, "This kid comes in and wrecks way more people than I ever did, and people love him." This raises a genuine question about how fans will eventually treat Zilisch. Friends of Zilisch within the garage, including fellow drivers Zane Smith and Noah Gragson, had warned him before his rookie season began that the difficulty of fighting for a lucky dog position would not fully make sense until he experienced it himself. Mark Martin also weighed in, noting that the Cup Series can humble any driver, regardless of talent, pointing out that very few rookies arrive and immediately dominate like Tony Stewart did. Zilisch will get another opportunity to change his season's trajectory on Sunday, July 12 at Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta. After the stretch of results he has endured, a clean, wreck-free finish would represent significant progress. The message from Joey Logano remains consistent throughout his comments. Connor Zilisch has the talent required to succeed at the highest level of the sport. What he needs now, according to a driver who lived through nearly the exact same circumstances, is simply enough time to translate that talent into results. The question remains, will the sport give him that time? If you found this breakdown insightful and want to stay updated on every twist and turn of the NASCAR season, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe to NASCAR Overdrive for weekly NASCAR news, analysis, and fan discussions. We'll see you at the next race.